Welcome to the Current Digital podcast. It is called All Right. It is a comedy podcast featuring three of the most unfunny people in the world.
I'm number one.
James Daly from Great Britain, which is also the UK. He just told me.
That's our talking point today.
No, it's definitely not. No one gives a shit
That's how we're
Great
starting.
Britain.
So let's find out who else is here.
And then we have Gabe Carey.
From East Guam.
Yeah, from what?
East Guam.
East Guam.
Yeah.
West Guam is like so played out.
Alright, and then
It's too mainstream.
And then we have Dennis McCarson, and he's from South Africa.
Brilliant.
Good.
Everybody, speaking of geography,
I'm
today
relying.
I've just found out, this is true, I just found out that Dennis was going to order amiibos to my house because he couldn't have them shipped to him. And I said, oh yeah, well, I live, blah, 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 United Kingdom, or UK for sure. He just said to me now, hey, I was going to have some amiibos ordered to your house, but they wouldn't deliver to United Kingdom. They delivered to Great Britain and everywhere else, but they wouldn't deliver to... They're the same place.
I did not know. I
Typical
Googled
American
it.
ignorance.
No, it's not
Typical
typical
South
American. Yeah, it's typical South African ignorance. It's not my fault.
That's like going, they don't deliver to the USA, just the United States, wherever that is.
Okay.
That's the exact same thing. That's what you've done. You belittle all my people.
Listen.
Mainly me.
Your people are already little.
Oh.
Well, I'm the tallest person in this podcast. So.
I can honestly say that I've never wanted to, ever, of all the places in the world, if someone were like, hey, I have 2 tickets to go to the UK, or in other layman terms, Great Britain, do you want the tickets? I would take the tickets and burn them. That's how much I don't want to go there.
You burn them, you release noxious gas into the environment, damage the ozone to prove a point that you don't want to go to.
You know what? In fact, I would take the tickets to Great Britain and then burn them there so that the gas is in Great Britain. Because fuck you guys.
But you just used the ticket.
Yeah, well, I mean, how far away are you from Amsterdam?
You have to swim to Amsterdam.
Amsterdam?
I would swim. I would swim to Amsterdam. Have you ever been to Amsterdam?
I personally no. I've been invited, but I've never gone.
I go twice a week.
Who invited you? The King of Amsterdam? He's like, get James Daly on the phone. I need him in Amsterdam now.
Yeah, that was it. No, like a lot of my friends sort of go, let's go for a weekend in Amsterdam, and I'm like, okay, but I'm fine.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah.
It's just not my kind of thing. Like, I'm off to Spain in a couple of weeks.
Why?
Going to Barcelona for a couple of days. No, that's it. Yeah, I'm going all the way to Barcelona.
Do they speak English in Spain?
In Barcelona, they do. Barcelona's a bit like it's like London and New York, and it's really cosmopolitan, and everybody from everywhere lives there. So English is spoken more than Spanish most of the time.
Gotcha.
And like the touristy bits, I mean. It's gonna be quite cool.
Yeah, I don't care.
How tall are you, James?
I'm 6'1".
No way! Really?
Slightly taller.
Yeah, I just look small because I like this all the time.
You must have a massive dong.
It's quite sizable.
What's the size?
It's my daily dosage.
Oh.
What's the actual size?
Of my penis. 45.
Say the actual size, and we're edited out of the podcast, and we'll just put in a different number.
I have honestly never measured my penis.
That is a lie. You may have never measured it with a ruler, but you definitely have with other objects.
More like just some fruit lying around.
No, like
how many iPhones is my penis?
I've done it with a Game Boy Advance and the Wiimote.
What are we talking here? Are we talking width or length? What are we talking here?
Length. Just it gives like the other person. It gives them like an example to go off of.
So what, you're like up to the A button on the Wiimote?
It doesn't. All they need to know is like, when I have this thing in my.
Are we including Motion Plus?
No.
It's just you. Is it?
No, I'm not saying that they're the same size. I'm just saying, like, if you have size comparison, you're like, oh, it's this much bigger
Not
than
you.
a Wiimote.
Not how you look.
Right, like their thing, and then
Well, like,
and then
okay,
it's like
okay.
it's
In that
subtle.
case-
It like subconsciously they start thinking they start thinking about how much fun they've had with something like that in their hands, and they're like, oh my god, that might be just as fun. It's
Okay, so
not. It's
if you're-
very disappointing.
If you're that big, then I am probably that big.
And that wide.
Nunchuck attack.
You have the
Actually, I am the size of a AA battery.
Are they different sizes in your country? Okay, they're not.
What we're talking here. On a good day.
I'm being serious. Just
I'm sorry. I will
Okay.
ask the next person.
Okay, how about this? How about this?
Scale.
How you have measured it? Stop lying. How about you
Yeah.
throw out 3 numbers?
Someone has measured it.
Someone has measured my feet.
Throw out 3 numbers, and then the audience and Gabe and I can just guess within our heads.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Is this in meters?
Centimeters.
I don't.
Millimeters.
Oh God, I don't know.
I don't know how to measure millimeters.
I don't know what that is.
Millimeters. Okay, so you know what a centimeter is?
Do we have to do it in yards?
That's right. Yes. A centimeter, like 100 centimeters, make up a meter. So that's that.
That sounds so much
So a
easier.
millimeter, you get about 10 millimeters in a centimeter.
That sounds so much easier than our method.
Yards and stuff. Yeah.
But
we have
think
yards too. We have yards and miles too.
yeah, but isn't a meter
We also have
stick?
centimeters.
Isn't a meter stick almost the same size as a yardstick?
Right, isn't it like a yard is like 3.3 meters or something?
I don't know. A yard
I don't know.
is 3 feet.
Yes. But I
A
don't know
yard
how
is 3
meters.
feet, and 3 feet is 12 inches, which is about 36 centimeters. So, yeah,
Oh my God, math.
What?
there we go. This is what people are listening to right now. James's penis size has gone to the measurement of yards, so I'm just going to
Okay,
let
let's
all
go
the
back.
women in the world
You
listen to this.
brought us back. Just throw out 3 numbers.
Okay, I will give you these 3 numbers.
And do it in inches,
12.
because it's not
Yeah,
12
12,
inches. That's a
12.
foot.
1
Uh-huh.
and 28,000.
Well, it's...
1,000
Is this in what measurement?
millimeters.
How... This is in millimeters?
Well,
No,
the
no.
12 is in inches, the 1 is in millimeters, and the 28,000 is in gallons.
Definitely the third one.
Right.
In case
One is
you
the
want to
width,
liquidate my penis.
one is the width, one is the length, and one is how much semen you currently have in your balls.
That's okay. Yeah, we'll go for that. Yeah. So the width is 12.
Okay, speaking of, what do you honestly,
Barrel
and
from a machine
no jokes aside, what do you honestly think Dwayne The Rock Johnson's dick size is?
It's whatever size he wants it to be. 'Cause
Shut-
it's
no,
whatever
it's
he
not.
wants.
No, I'm being serious. Do not play games right now, James.
It transcends
right now.
time and space.
I would say 11.5 inches. But the girth? Are you
Like
kidding me? It's
4
like
iPhones. This is an audio podcast for some people.
Anyway,
What?
Just
The
to
link-
let you know, this
you know
is the
what?
disapproving look.
I
Disapproving
bet-
look of a superhero while you're talking about The
I
Rock.
bet he has 9 inches long, but the girth is probably like 4 tubes of toothpaste.
Do you think he says like whenever he's like sexually aroused, he says like I'm me hard instead of rock hard?
Ah.
Do you think he does that?
No, I don't think so.
Like if he's enticing a woman, he'll say she wants the D, by which I mean Dwayne.
You know what would sell super
That's
well?
why we call it the D.
Dwayne
We all carry
It's our
Dwayne.
Dwayne Johnson
Look at our Dwayne side.
condoms. If
I was about to say that. I was about to
Dwayne,
say that's a good idea.
we would call them Dwayne the Cock condoms.
Oh,
That's good.
yes.
Did you know like a British band is called JLS? You ever heard of them?
Yes, wait.
Yeah.
Is that a video
They-
game company? No, LJS was a video game company.
No, JLS, like a really bad like British boy, but they weren't bad, but I didn't really like them. A British boy band, and they actually
I've never
marketed
heard of them.
condoms. So they were on the face of condoms. Like you can Google it, JLS condoms.
Wait, what do
But
you
it's
call
supposed-
them?
JLS. That's like
No,
J,
no, the
J,
other thing.
LL. What condoms?
Oh, that sounds weird.
Yeah, you say condoms and we say condoms. Rubbers.
I call them. You know what I call them? Pointless. That's what I
Prophylactic.
call them.
you just like to gamble. That's what you. That's what you do.
Absolutely. My perfect
Google JLS
woman.
condoms.
My perfect woman would have a craps board on her stomach. That's how much I like to gamble.
When you get to the point where the podcast is beyond salvageable.
and then the number or like a roulette board, and then when I pull out for the money shot, I have to hit I choose my number and she spins it, and if I get I pick up my color, and if I get the color right, she's not pregnant. That would be my dream girl.
I don't even know. What
Sounds
else
like
to say.
safe sex.
That's the safest sex.
You did say that you like to take a lot of risks for interesting stories.
Oh yeah,
every word.
Trust me, the biggest risk you can take is having a baby and then leaving it somewhere.
This was all the establishment. When we went downstairs again.
Shut the fuck
up, James.
James.
I swear to God.
This is why no one likes you.
already.
You lost the Civil War.
Pray said I as the two odious casts with
Shut up!
Alright, you're talking about penises and like making targets on like women for let's just say
And men.
I am reading out now. In that moment I am reading Great Expectations, because that's what I had for this podcast. I had great expectations. And now I have nothing.
Did that say Charles Dickens and not Charles Dwaynesons?
Dwayne.
That's right, yeah. Charles the Rock Dickens.
I think there's a typo.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I actually went and saw Furious 7. Just the other day.
I'm going to see it in a few days.
Okay. As an adult man who so I didn't even watch the Fast and Furious series until number 5. Number 5 was released on like DVD, and that's when I started watching them. And I watched them all in one day, like a marathon of all 5 movies, and fell in love with the series. And so then when 6 came out, I didn't get to go to the theaters. I was gonna go with someone, but then I didn't, so I had to wait. But I went and saw Furious 7, and for those who don't know, like I absolutely love like really like things that do not make sense and either piss people off or just are ridiculous. I think of Kanye West, Riff Raff, and the Fast and Furious series. They're like my favorite things. Oh, and Entourage. I just started watching Entourage. As soon as I turned it on, I'm like, this is the douchiest, worst thing I've ever seen. Because it's literally Mark Wahlberg, the TV show.
Yeah.
Entourage. I remember seeing Entourage a while ago, and I thought this is the sort of thing Dennis would watch.
It's amazing.
Ago.
There's like no reason or logic to what they do other than let's just be terrible people, and I love it. It's like the greatest train wreck to watch. I was all in when Charlie Sheen went loco on the news. I was about to get a Charlie Sheen like tattoo right on my chest. That's how much I was in love with it. Anyway, Furious 7. I am so in love with these movies. If you're watching the actual podcast and not the just listening, I have a Furious 7 cup. I don't even drink soda. I spent $17 on this.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's actually fantastic.
You could only get it by getting the large soda with the large popcorn. I gave the popcorn away. I didn't need it. I'm actually trying to eat healthy. But I wanted a cup that had these characters on it.
You can put kale in it.
What?
Yeah.
Put kale in it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that doesn't go in my... The only thing I put in this cup is fish, like raw fish.
Okay.
How do you get it out again?
I drink it.
It's a fish.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so this Furious 7, James, you will cry. Like as an adult man, I I was like, I don't see what's wrong, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but obviously we know that Paul Walker is dead. Rest in peace.
Badly,
What?
yes,
Spoilers.
And every
Spoilers for
time
real
you
life.
every time you see him in the movie, you start to get a little sad
Yeah,
because they're like, Paul Walker's like one last time, and you're like, it really is just one last time. Like every single time he would say something like that, and then the final scene of the movie was shot using like CGI and like his brothers and everything,
right,
and
yeah.
like Vin Diesel talking over it. And it's like the saddest thing you will ever see. I could like watch my mother die and not be as sad as when I left that movie.
Oh my god.
It was hard.
I'm
sure she'll love this.
Because here's the thing, if I'm watching my mother die, I don't hear Vin Diesel also talking about it. That was the problem. If Vin Diesel was right behind me when my mother died and he was like, that's when I knew we were going to take different paths forever. I'm like, Vin! That's when I would start crying. But if he's not there, not really.
Yeah. Do you have to see the other movies to understand what's happening?
Nope, you don't have to. You don't even have to see. I went to the bathroom multiple times during that movie. It does not matter. It just every time you walk in, they're like, "Oh, they're driving a car worth a couple of $1 million through skyscrapers." Okay, and then you go back, and it's every single scene is either boobs, ass, or cars going through stuff that cars shouldn't go through and couldn't do.
Okay.
They're like, oh, you know what? We'll just jump cars through an airplane. They're like, no, you can't do that. And they're like, well, we're gonna do it, and no one's gonna complain.
Sounds like a work of art.
I've got a question for you. I've got a question about Vin Diesel.
Wait, can I say one more thing? In my discussion of Fury 7, hopefully.
Okay.
Also, you leave the movie split between thinking that this is a perfect end to the series and wanting another movie.
Well, they are making another one, aren't they?
Well, they haven't confirmed it. They've done a soft confirm. You know, some people are saying that it's the last of the series, and if it were, it would be such a great way to go. Because it's got such a good end for all the characters. However, Kurt Russell plays a character in this movie who could potentially come back in the sequel, and Kurt Russell is amazing in this movie.
Kurt Russell's great in everything he does.
There's a scene where they're in like a gunfight. Kurt Russell is on the good guy's side. They're in a gunfight. Kurt Russell turns around to Vin Diesel as someone's shooting at him, and he winks at Vin Diesel as he gets shot in the back. And then he just turns around and starts shooting everyone. And you're like, oh, Kurt, didn't know you could do that. You could literally defy death.
Literally, because it was real.
Yeah. Well, he's in his own death proof.
In Fast and Furious 4, the girl who plays Letty dies. Fast and Furious 6, she's still alive.
Yeah, that's like the point of the fifth one, isn't it?
Sixth one.
No, like, it's like the end credits of the fifth one. Ava Mendes comes over a fire and it says he's alive. And it's like,
Ava Mendes. Yeah, and then he's like, you might want to look at this. Yeah, and Dwayne Johnson's like, he's like, is it about Toretto and his gang? No. Then I'm not interested. You may want to take a look at this. She opens up this folder, and it's just a picture of Michelle Rodriguez, and he's like, what does he say? He was like, well, son of a bitch. And then
I'm gonna lay the smack down. Is what I thought he said. I thought that was
Jason Statham. The opening scene of this movie is Jason Statham fighting The Rock, and Jason Statham. Okay, he beats up The Rock.
Right. Okay, just pause for a second. Jason Statham, if you're listening, please stop everything. Go away.
Which is impossible. No offense to Jason Statham, but they are on different, they're way on different categories.
Have you ever seen Doom?
Okay, listen.
Yeah, Carl Urban does beat The Rock in a fight.
Yeah, but that was the old Rock. This isn't This isn't
Dwayne the New Rock Johnson.
yeah.
That was the pebble. Now it's the boulder.
Right. He is a mountain. But then Dwayne Johnson throws the rock bottom on Jason Statham through a table. It was
That's cool.
It was like I was 13 years old again. I had like the weirdest Woody, like right in the middle of the theater. I shouldn't have been standing up in front of the movie screen. Right, like putting it in kids' faces. I shouldn't have done that, but I did, and I can't take it back.
And you may have gotten arrested, but that's besides the point. The point is
they had to use 2 separate sets of handcuffs. One's for my hands.
And you can
and
guess
one for
what
my
the other
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Aren't you glad you signed up for this, James?
All right, James. What's your question about Vin Diesel?
I can't think of anything anymore.
Okay.
I was gonna say with Vin Diesel, where do you stand on him? Like,
I love Vin Diesel.
I mean, I know somebody whose main problem with him is that he's got 2 names that are both different liquids, and like Van is wine and Diesel obviously it's fuel. And I just remember thinking that was the worst excuse to not like an actor. But
no,
you know.
A good reason to not like Vin Diesel is like the guy seems like he's a genius, but also a complete idiot.
Well, he was in the pacifier, so like I'm
Like,
inclined to hold that against him.
Pacifier Pacific Rim.
But like part of it is like he's so you just like watch these movies and know that he has his hand all in these movies. Just the whole thing, Vin Diesel is like, this is what's gonna happen. This is not a spoiler because you know nothing happens to Vin Diesel. And the past 4 films of the series, Vin Diesel has pretended, like every 5, 6, and 7, Vin Diesel did the hero sacrifice, but comes back anyway.
Yeah, he does that.
And number 5, he's like, Brian, this was always the plan. And he goes back to kill the dude. And then in number 6, he's stuck in the plane, but then he drives out, and then you're like, he's gonna make it, and then the plane explodes, and you're like, Vin's dead, and then he like walks away from these flames. And I swear to God, the exact same scene happens in this one. It's like
I feel like that's enough now, because everything you tell me, I'm just like, I know about 5 things about this movie I did not know before talking to you today.
You're spoiling it for him.
These are not spoilers.
Question. I've got a question for you. Fast and Furious. Can you actually name the characters' full names? If I said, obviously we all know Vin Diesel is Dom Toretto.
Yes, I can.
Okay, Jordana Brewster. What's her name? Her character name?
Oh, what Mia Toretto.
There we go. And
then Brian O'Connor, and it was Letty. Well, it's like it shows her real name, which is like Leticia or something in the movie, and I can't remember her last name. Actually, I do know her last name, but I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Fantastic. That's common sense right there. Okay, what about Tyrese Gibson? But I just know it's called
Roman Pierce.
Roman Pierce, and Leticia Ortiz is Michelle Rodriguez.
And then there's Han Solo, but his name is spelled like SHEOL-OH.
Anyway, Gabe, how are you?
I don't think that happened. I don't know, because I'm not familiar with the Fast and Furious lore.
Okay, first of all, Gabe, you know what would be the best crossover movie? The Amazing Fast and Furious Spider-Man.
No. I don't think we should go there.
Yes!
Dwayne
Johnson as Spider-Man?
Peter Parker was confirmed to be Spider-Man.
I know, it's kind of just... I mean, I don't know how I feel. I don't want to talk about it. Okay,
so here's the deal. You mentioned you wanted it to be Miles Morales.
I really do want it to be Miles Morales, but if they're doing an actual teenager Spider-Man, that might be interesting. I'm really focusing on Deadpool right now.
Yeah.
I was back and forth on Ryan Reynolds for a long time, but it really seems like he's gonna do a good Deadpool now.
Yeah.
Did you see the thing where they officially announced the movie was R-rated?
Yeah, I saw that. That's gonna make it a lot more interesting because that's kind of how the humor is in Deadpool anyway.
Right. Yeah,
It
it's
won't
not
be a PG-13
It's
movie.
not PG-13. It might have to be NC-17.
I doubt that. They
We're
won't go. That's too much of a risk for a movie company.
I know, but if I were the head of a movie company, I would only make NC-17 movies.
And you would go bankrupt within a few
Nope,
years.
no, I wouldn't. I would buy the biggest IPs in the world and make them NC-17. Oh, you want a Care Bears movie? NC-17. Where Dwayne The Rock Johnson plays a Care Bear that rips off other Care Bears' actual heads, and there's actual blood, and then he fucks the holes in their necks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Top 10 reasons Dennis isn't a movie producer.
Would Dwayne The Rock Johnson as a Care Bear just be like a Care Bear with, would he have like a rock on him, or would he have the
No,
ball
he would literally just be dressed the same, but he would just
No.
He would have a
He would be
on.
nude the entire film. And he would have a Rock Hard Johnson.
He
He would
would.
answer all our frequent questions.
I just thought he would be completely normal, but he'd have a pink shirt on that says "I'm a Care Bear." But I like Gabe's idea so much better.
I only want
His
to film-
Care Bear
I only want
stare
to
would be
film-
amazing.
I only want to go with Vin Diesel is another Care Bear. We should take
Yes,
my dad's idea.
they're all
maybe,
nude.
you know, we should make a film called Don't Care Bears and replace them all with people like Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Jason Statham, Chuck Norris, Vin Diesel.
Oh, you mean the
Flash,
Expendables? Yeah,
No. I'm saying.
the
take cast of
Expendabears.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
the Expendables.
Rated NC-17.
Right, for graphic gun nudity.
Or the Care Spendables. That's another one.
Nope,
I
mine
think-
was
I think-
so
I
much
think-
better. The
I think the bear- I think
Expendabears,
the movie
the
is always in the bear
Expendabears. I would go to
Expendabears.
I would go to Expendabear.
Dennis, if you
Build
call
an
them
Expendabear. Okay.
Expendabears, listen, if you call them the Expendabears and then they don't actually dress like bears and just a bunch of muscly men who are naked with rock hard penises, then it means bear in the gay term as
It's
opposed
perfect!
to mammal.
Right.
Not saying
That's
gays
our
are not
audience.
mammals, by the way.
That's our audience. They all have to be
Fantastic.
hairy and nude and just having
We can
sex with
release it in the
everything.
middle of Pride Week.
Yeah, I
No.
feel like it's a
No,
good way to push the
well-
gay agenda.
We're only showing the movie in Texas, Alabama, Tennessee,
Canada.
and Canada.
Any movie theater on the banks of the Mississippi,
Oh yeah.
because that'll go down really well.
We're
Indiana.
hold movie viewings in every church in America.
Every Mormon
Yeah.
church.
Utah.
We're sell the Mormons on the fact that the Osbournes, or the Osmonds, not the Osbournes, like the Osmonds did the soundtrack for the movie.
Just crazy horses playing on repeat.
Right.
They just run around.
And then the opening scene is Dwayne Johnson violently killing Donny Osmond between his giant Samoan thighs,
You know, I've got
like a can
coffee mug.
opener.
I've got a coffee mug that's got Donny Osmond's face on it, so I don't want him to die in the movie. Donny Osmond's my homeboy. I'm being serious. I really have this. Like, I
have
take
a
it to
what?
work sometimes. I'm just it's a coffee mug with Donny Osmond's face like this.
Well, but if he
Brilliant.
did
It's the best
die,
thing.
that coffee mug would be worth a lot more money.
I'd buy so many more if Donny Osmond wasn't around.
I want coffee mugs strictly with just my face all over them.
You can get those very easily made.
But then give them away as gifts.
It'd be like that's the worst Christmas present in the world. Happy
Such a good
holidays,
idea.
and here's a mug with Dennis on.
Okay,
That'd be-
$1 million idea. Little shot glasses shaped like coffee mugs with my face on them, and we'll call them mug shots.
Damn. That's genius.
$1 billion idea.
Bill
Okay,
Gates
so
might buy into
now
that.
that I've died of absolute pain.
That is the best idea I think I've ever had. Who would not buy a mug for their friends that were a shot glass with my face on it.
There's an even better version of that. If you go on eBay, right, and I don't know if it's still there, but if you put on eBay, O.J. Simpson mug, it comes up with a mug with his mug shot on it. Like, you can buy a mug, and then there's O.J.
Yeah, but
Simpson
it's
like
not
that.
a shot glass. See, it's not a perfect scenario.
But it's still fantastic.
Have I ever told you about the... I've always kind of wanted a tattoo, but I've never decided on one because my problem is, like, everything I do has to be funny. It's a very strict rule. Like, have you guys seen my checks?
No. Oh yeah. I did see that. Actually.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
They just came. They say, they say I'd rather be with my grandkids. It has my name, and next to my name is a unicorn, and my name is in frilly writing. It's perfect. I'm like,
it looks like your funeral home epitaph. It's really
anytime I give that check to someone, I'm gonna start laughing because it's that funny to me.
Have you given it to anyone yet?
I have to give it to my landlord in like a week.
Okay, serious question here, Dennis.
Okay, but anyway, tattoo. No.
Dennis, I need to know. I need to know if it's bigger.
Oh, just Jim it.
Give it.
Okay, so my problem with getting a tattoo is it has to be like funny. The first time someone sees the tattoo, no matter if it's now or 40 years from now, it has to be funny. And the only idea I have, and I don't know if I've told you guys this, but I'm really considering it. So it would be a postage stamp,
right,
with Tramp from Lady and the Tramp on the postage stamp, and it'd be right above my ass crack.
I think this is a great idea. I fully endorse it.
That would be my tramp stamp.
I like it.
Have you talked to your girlfriend about this?
Yeah, she said she would leave me, and you know what I said to her?
Huh.
Everyone's laughter would console me.
Well, here's the thing, though. It's like, if everything you do has to be funny, then what does that say about things like your girlfriend? You must find.
Oh, dude.
You must find the concept.
So here's my plan with her. I've been with her for like, I guess, 3 or 4 years now. I'm waiting until she's like really, really, really falls in love with me. So it's probably like another 50-something years, something like that. And then she's gonna be like, she's gonna get some disease, and she's gonna be on her hospital deathbed. And I'm gonna lean into her, and I'm gonna say, "It was all a goof," and then I'm gonna leave her. And it's just gonna be the biggest April Fool's joke
It would be just
ever.
like Newt Gingrich.
It would be amazing. And I'm hoping that she would find the irony in it so funny that she would just be like, you know what? I don't care if I wasted my whole life. That was a really good joke.
I imagine she would just be like, well, today, like every other day of my life, I'm thinking, God damn it, Dennis.
Yes. She literally says that all the time. I just get this look of, like, disapproving sadness. Like, as soon as my mouth opens up, she's like, it's either like, I can't believe you said that, or why would you say that?
So I'm guessing she's not a fan of your comedy?
No, like, when we walk around places, I sing songs quietly to her about the people. I'll be like, black guy in a business suit, he's not gonna rob you, but maybe he is. And she gets so mad at me because she's trying to act normal, and then she'll go to tell me to stop, and I do this thing that anytime we're in public and she makes a fast move, I flinch like she hits me all the time.
Yeah.
So she like, and I go, "Ugh."
Oh, that poor girl.
I know.
Is she your girlfriend or like your social carer?
And then when we go out to dinner, I always, if we have a female waitress, I always order chicken breast, but I order it like, I have the chicken breast, you hold the chicken, I'll hold the breast.
Oh my god.
Every single time, and I don't do it because I think it's funny. Like it's funny the first time you do it and no one's heard it, and then but you have to feel bad for that poor waitress who's just gonna be like, this.
I feel bad. I feel
She's
bad
like,
because you go to the same restaurant every week and ask for the same waitress.
right, can I have Shoshana again? But
I love that. The idea that you just go to like a Denny's, so like, hi, is Tammy Lynn here? I just really, I can't eat unless she's here. What do you mean go home? Where does she live?
We gotta go find her. We got some chicken breasts to hold.
Can I take some chicken breasts, please? Why?
So,
just tell me where Tammy Lynn lives.
So, I only do it because it gets every time the reaction from my girlfriend gets worse and worse and worse.
Like just breaks the
to where now when we're ordering, when the waitress comes to order, like for us to take our order, she gets up and goes to the bathroom because she doesn't want me to be there when I say it. And I wait.
That's really
I
sad.
wait until she comes back. Right when she comes back, the waitress is walking away. And I was like, 1 second. Can I just modify that order?
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm truly the worst.
Why has she stood to be around you for this long?
I don't know.
Because he's kind of like a mule.
Her family they're getting chickens. They have chicken. They like live on a farm. They're getting some more chickens, and I'm getting to name them.
Oh my god.
So far some of the names are like Chicky Minaj, Anne Hatchaway, and Broody Garland. And I'm thinking about Chick-Ye. It's
Chicken Nest.
It's Cluck-Ye Chicken Breast.
What about Cluck Norris? Like, isn't that
I thought about Cluck Norris, but no one liked it because it's a girl. The girls.
Oh right. Well then, screw them.
If they get a rooster, we're naming it Dwayne the Cock Johnson.
Of course you are. I wonder where this is going. I'm like, Dennis's girlfriend doesn't have a farm. This is all
She does. I just posted a picture of me at her house like a week ago, like hanging out with one of our llamas.
Now, Dennis, you originally wanted to get us on here to talk about the movie set you were on. You should talk to us a little bit about that.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 minutes left.
Okay, so I guess in August of 2014, I answered an ad on Facebook. I had just joined a page that posted about like people who worked in film, and someone was like, I need a assistant, like someone to help me with extras casting for a movie. And I replied to them like right away, like I was like, I am so in, and they were like, okay, calm down. So we meet at a coffee shop, and she like gives me the whole spiel, and so like tells me what the film is about, but not really. She doesn't really tell me what the film's about until after I agree to do it. So the first day, you know, she tells me where the office is, where we're gonna, because like about 2 weeks before the film actually started, we had a lot of pre-production stuff to do, and she's like tells me the address. I'm like, oh, I don't think I've ever been there. And she's like, yeah, just be careful. I was like, okay. And then I look it up, and it's like the sketchiest part of Philadelphia, and that's saying something because all of Philadelphia is sketchy. So that's like saying, oh, you know, this part you're gonna get stabbed in, but this one you're gonna get super stabbed. And you're like, what's super stabbed? And that's like where everyone in the neighborhood all comes out at once and just starts stabbing you. That was the area I was in. So when we get there, she tells me that what we're shooting is a Christian pro-life film. The story of the film is an Iraqi war veteran moves to North Philadelphia and starts helping at a church and starts a youth program, and right across the street is an abortion clinic.
Sounds like a great plot.
So we shot at a church, and the thing that was right across the street was a daycare, and the daycare agreed, like I think we paid them a little bit of money, they agreed to let us put like an abortion clinic sign over their daycare sign. So like it was like super funny to see like an abortion clinic sign and then like someone walking in there with a kid and then they walk out without one. You're like, it works no matter what age. But it was like also funny because like some people who didn't know, who didn't go to that abortion, the daycare or whatever, would just walk by and it's like about time this neighborhood needed one of those. And you were like, I don't think you can say that they just need to kill babies in this area. Like, that's what you're saying is I condone baby killing in this area specifically.
Yeah, well,
they're
not babies yet.
No, they're talking about, like, someone taking his 5-year-old in there and then just slaughtering
Oh, okay, that's what, yeah.
Yeah, and you're a baby to me until you're, like, 11. Before 11, you're a baby. You could have a deep voice and a full mustache, but sorry, if you're under 11, you're a baby. So, anyway, I did like the extra stuff, and we had to shoot at all these different areas. We shot at a soup kitchen.
Yeah.
And some of the extras we had were like actual homeless people who visited the soup kitchen. And I had to bring them in, and inside the soup kitchen there was a list of people who weren't allowed, and it was just like Paul for 2 weeks for stealing bread, Frankie for 1 week because he's rude to everyone else, and then right under Frankie was Crazy Steve indefinitely. He was banned for a soup kitchen could be forever, and his name was Crazy Steve. And we met.
They documented it as Crazy Steve.
Right, that's his name, Crazy Steve. So I'm like pulling people into the soup kitchen, and they're like, I'm just like, I need 5 more extras, and Crazy Steve shows up, and he's like, you ask him his name, and he tells you Crazy Steve. That's what he asked people to go by, and he's like, oh. He's like, oh, me. I'm like, no, sorry, Crazy Steve. We're looking for, we need a few more women for this scene. And his exact response to me was, what? I'll wear a dress. I'll wear a wig. I'll suck your dick. And I was like, no, Crazy Steve, it's okay. I really don't need
sounds great.
Any of those.
Yeah.
No, dude, I wouldn't try. This guy, there's a video of him, I'll send it to you later, where he's just completely nude, and he just jumps up on one of the buses that drives through that area, and rides on, like, the windshield.
Why do you want to say that?
It's pretty amazing!
Like, skillfully, or... Like,
yes!
You mean he's got a massive... Do you mean he's got a massive...
remember those things that you would get out of, like, a vending machine that worked 3 times before hair got all over them, where you could throw them onto, like, any glass or anything like that, and
yeah. Sticky hands.
He was like a human sticky hand.
That's quite cool.
Completely nude. And then we had...
we should get him for the Expendabears.
Right! Chuck Norris, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Crazy Steve.
That'd be a great porn.
I think he's too busy. He's been booked for the Teletubbies reboot.
So
we can't have him.
One day when we were shooting, he saw where we were like outside, like where our production van was. He laid down in the middle of the street with a like a sleeping bag. He took like. Is Ambien the sleeping pill? Is that... Which one's... Sure. I think it was Ambiens or something. He took like a whole bottle of sleeping pills.
Okay.
And he just slept right in the middle of the road for like 14 hours.
He's a character.
And we were like drinking beers that night, and we just had to like step over him. And we left beers all around him. So that when he woke up, he'd have to hit some. It was like one of those human sketches with like chalk, but instead of that, it was beer bottles. And then there was like one day where we had like 50 extras, or no, sorry, like almost 100, I think. And some of them were like, half of the extras were like actual actors.
Yeah.
And the other half were just random people from the ghetto. And it was amazing to hear them like talking. They're like, oh, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I just got back from Maryland. I shot a few episodes of House of Cards. What do you do? Oh, my boyfriend sells crack. Like, those are conversations that they had together. And like the actors are looking at me like, save me. And the other people are like, when's food coming? Like, those were the two sides of it. And we had one extra who was, no joke, the tallest person I've ever met. Like 6'9". Yeah. It was a African-American man in a dress,
was it
wearing a wig, went by the name Kimberly.
Okay.
And I had to take everyone's names down, so I was like, what's your name? And they were like, I'm Kimberly. And I was like, okay, Kimberly. So Kimberly had to leave early because Kimberly's probation officer needed to see Kimberly.
Oh, okay.
So Kimberly's sitting across from me, and I'm like filling out the paperwork. We have to just do like NDAs and like just a few things and proof that we actually paid them.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there filling it out, and someone nudges me on the shoulder and like does like, you know, like the head movement down. I look down. We're both sitting in those foldable steel chairs. Kimberly's legs are completely spread apart, and there's just two massive black balls hanging out of a skirt, just resting on a folding chair like it was their home. Yeah. They were settled in for the evening. They were just like, Kimberly couldn't feel the coldness of the steel chairs.
Yeah.
It was insane, but also incredible, and I still have Kimberly's number.
Brilliant.
So you should hit them up sometime.
Kimberly's the type of person I would invite to other people's like weddings. And we had a girl who showed up to like a different church scene that we had, and she was super nice, and she was dumb. She was really dumb, but she was super nice, and you know, we were like, all right, bye, see you later, thank you so much for coming. And 2 days later, we were at a different location, and she was walking around with her pimp.
Oh my god.
You know, Dennis, when your girlfriend is like, when the plan is like nearly at the end, and your girlfriend's in hospital and she's ill, just before you say it was all a goof, say, I brought Kimberly.
Yeah, this is my real girlfriend. Kimberly.
I brought Kimberly. Kimberly completes me. But you know, we had a thing, and it was nice.
Right.
Our thing was okay too.
Right.
You know,
I didn't love you.
Boma? Oh, that sucks.
You will always have the kids and the cat and the dog and everything like that. It's all yours. Just, you know.
Kimberly has my heart.
Right. I don't even care about the kids. I don't remember their names.
Yeah.
Oh my! I do fear for the day that I have kids, because I know how much I like to mess with like my girlfriend and my family. Like, my mom will call me. She'll like call me, and I'll bring up a soundboard of like police sirens and stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, nothing. And then I play the police siren. I'm like, oh, Mom, I gotta go. And she's like, why? I'm like, I think a police just pulling me over. And she's like, why? I was like, I was speeding a little bit. She's like, okay, well, just, you know, see if you can't talk out of it. I'm like, oh, no. So the problem is I have like a pound of weed in the back of my car. And I was just like, and then I
get the kids to eat it. Kids, eat this.
And then this totally happened. I was like, Mom, I don't know what to do. I'm not doing well here. This is when I first moved to Philly. And I was like, so I've just been selling some on the side, and the cops are pulling me over. And so she's like, what? And I just hang up the phone, and I didn't call her for like 3 days.
Oh my god.
I had like...
You were the worst person.
It was awesome.
Do you really get a thrill out of just
being
a shitty person?
Yes. It's not I'm not a shitty. It's not being a shitty person. It's just I love messing with people.
It's all for the
Dennis,
gag.
you're the only person. You're the only person in the world I know, at least, who would have 3 kids with 3 different women and call them all Kanye.
I would absolutely do that. Wait, the
Yeah.
women or the kids?
Both.
Absolutely. I purposely called my girlfriend the wrong name.
Was it Kanye?
No, she'll be like,
Angela.
she knows these friends of mine that
Yeah.
she's like jealous of for like no reason at all. So I'll just like she'll just be like saying something. I'll just like, I know, Bridget, you're so funny. Her name's Melissa. I don't even try to make it sound close, like I accidentally messed up.
Yeah.
I make it sound like I purposely said someone else's name. And then I also twice I've done like the worst thing possible, like where me and a significant other were doing adult things.
No.
And they were like, I'm so close. And I lean into their ear and I've whispered, can you feel it now, Mr. Krabs?
That legitimately happened.
I swear to you. And the other thing was, it's all ogre now.
Oh my god, I need to do that.
It's amazing.
Dennis, have you ever done the Angry Rodeo to a girl?
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna
You know what the Angry Rodeo is?
Is that the one where you're from behind and then you say something and you try to hold on?
You grab her boobs and say, "Oh, these are bigger than your sisters," and then try and hang on.
Oh.
It's something horrible. Take.
What?
But yeah, but try and find something really horrible to say. And then that's the sort of thing that I expect you to do. We're like,
I haven't done that, but
I
maybe.
love you, Bridget, and then just like try your best not to get killed.
I should do that. That sounds hilarious.
You just as you lean in, just say something like, "Oh, Kanye."
You know what I think would be really funny is like if I were from behind and then like right in the middle of it I took out like a plate and then started like making a sandwich on her back.
No, don't even use the plate. Just let her know it's here.
Wouldn't that be so funny? Like, I don't know. I think it's getting to the point where it's starting to sound like degrading women, which is not okay.
Dennis, this isn't degrading women. This is degrading all of mankind for a gag. This is what you do every day.
Yes, but I want people to understand that I do it to everyone, but I do have very strong lines that I don't cross.
Oh no, I think we're all pretty much feminists here, to be completely honest. We're not talking about women. We're talking about Melissa, stroke Bridget, stroke Kanye, stroke whatever else.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you were gay, you would do it to dudes too.
I would. I know for a fact that
you would still do it to guys.
I know that for a fact that I'm not gay.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact that if I were gay, I would be like 100% all about the gay life. I would be in your face gay.
Mm-hmm.
Where I wouldn't have straight friends because they'd be like, "Oh, you seem nice." I'm like, "I want to see your dick." Like that would. I know that's who I would be. I know without a doubt there's not a morsel in my body that would not just be like completely open about the whole thing. I probably wouldn't be like. More feminine. I'd definitely be manly, but I think I would be like a split between the both, and I would do things. No,
would you be an actual bear?
I would be an otter, maybe.
An otter. Okay, so you'd lie on your back, you'd hold someone's hand so you don't lose them while you're sleeping on the water, and then
an otter
is some food on your belly.
An otter's like a mix between
you make a sandwich on her back.
An otter's like a mix between a twink and a bear.
That's what you'd be. You'd be a tware or a bink.
No, a twink is skinny and hairless, and a bear is heavy and hairy. I think if I were gay, I'd be skinny and hairy.
So you'd be a bink then? That would be the thing.
No, it's called an otter.
No, it's not. It's called pink.
Yes.
I'm
But I would call myself a squirrel.
I get a feeling, Dennis.
Because I want those nuts!
Dennis, if you were gay, right, seriously, you would just go up to men and, just be like, hey, how you doing? And you'd be like, hi, I want to smash your back doors in.
Oh, I would just go up to dudes and just fill their package.
See, that's just overly friendly, is what that is.
Right, I would, when someone went to shake my hand, I would just, grab their dick and jiggle it.
You'd be the best friend.
I know, I would wait in the bathroom stall and just, at the urinals and be like, need help? That's how I would be. I don't think I'd feel any shame in it.
Yeah, no need.
I'm just saying, if I were gay, I would try to make these, people who are really bigoted, where they're like, I don't mind if you do that, but do it in your own house or whatever. I would try to make them as uncomfortable as possible. And I have to admit that for a long time, not a long time,
I do that to people anyway.
Not ages, but you know, when I was up until 17, 18 years old, I had never had a problem with gay people, but I still feel ashamed of the fact that in a movie, if two guys would make out or something, I'd be like, ew, I don't know why I felt the need to do that, and especially if I'm watching a movie by myself, no one's judging me.
Yeah.
PDA, then it's public displays of affection. In movies, when I see a kiss of any kind, for the most part, I'm like, that's awkward. Just if I'm walking down the street,
no, I'm all for
friendly, cuddling each other, I'm like, just back up.
It's awkward no matter who it is.
No, dude, if I see a couple, I've done it. If I seen a couple who are holding each other, especially in high school, I was really bad. The emo couples would just sit with each other and nestle together, and they would just sit there during the whole lunch period.
They all did that.
I would sit right behind them and breathe out of my mouth as heavy as possible. And then when they start to get up, I'd be like, no, don't stop. And I think about that now and feel like, oh God, I was such an asshole to those people. But see, and that's, I guess what I'm trying to say is, when I do stuff like that to people, I only do that to people who I don't dislike. If I dislike someone, I wouldn't do that to them, and I don't think a lot of people understand that.
Yeah.
Because it would be weird for me to do that to someone I didn't like.
Yeah.
And I hate that so many people get upset when I do it, because I'm just like, I thought it would be funny, and other people found it funny, and I know that you're the blunt, you're the butt of this joke, but this is one joke, and then every other joke, someone else is the butt of it, so you can laugh at those.
Just tell them if they got a problem being the butt of a joke. Just say people like butts, and then just walk off.
I love being I make a joke out of or say stuff that I know that some people won't understand that I'm saying it on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
And then they'll just be like, oh, he must be an idiot or something like that. Not an idiot. I'm giving you an opportunity to laugh at me.
Yeah. It's funny. Yeah.
So I just I don't. The reason I think it's okay for me to make fun of other people, and not making fun of haha, he's weird, but just I guess they're almost like social experiments.
Yeah.
I just like to see how people react.
Yeah, I like to do that too.
I'm completely open socially. As soon as I meet someone, I'm super comfortable. Gabe knows that. When I met him, he just brought a crew of randos.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, let's just start yelling at them.
Every time I meet someone, someone new, I socially experiment with people too to see how they react, and I always talk about my masturbation habits first.
Me too.
That's one of the so fun.
It's one of the first things I said to your parents.
To talk about it here in America. I don't know how it is in other places, but
one of the first things I've ever said to Gabe's parents was about masturbation.
I tend to go awkward in different ways. With my friends, I'll just use little awkward phrases that don't really fit into the general conversation you have with your friends. If they say, "Oh yeah, I'll meet you at the bar in an hour," I'll go, "Great, how will I recognize you?" and just look at them straight, and they'll be like, well, it'll be me. I'm like, I'm not getting it. What do you mean it'll be you? Yeah, like, and then eventually they're like, well, I'll be on like a blue shirt and stuff. Like, oh, okay, good. And that's it. Like, I'll act like that's normal.
I used to do a thing that I never know how the person reacted, but I always assume that reaction was amazing because it'd be like on Facebook, and I would just change my relationship status and just choose a random person and add him to the relationship status. Just anybody, and I would just like I would just imagine what was going through their mind when it happened. It'd be like someone I hung out with the night before. I would just be in a relationship with, and just see they never accepted.
Yeah.
Never. And I would and then I would bring it up, and they'd be like, "What?" Like they would pretend like it didn't happen.
But they knew it happened.
Right, because at that time they were probably like, "Does he think we're dating?" And then afterwards, when I'm like, "Did you get that joke where I said that we were in a relationship on Facebook last night?" They're like, "Oh no, where did you do that at?" Like
on Twitter.
Right. Just on the wall in my room. I told my parents.
Yeah, I guess do you ever do it with someone's parents? Like Dennis McCarson's in a relationship with Art Carey. Like, have you done that? Just to see what the reactions come over or not.
Janice Daly.
Yes,
absolutely. But we'll do it with someone who doesn't understand Facebook that well, so they accept anyway.
Oh my God! Do you think I could convince your mom to be in a Facebook relationship with me? How do you think your sister would feel?
I think it's a good idea. I think you should do it.
She'd be like, "Really, that guy, Mom?" Out of everyone.
Dennis rock hard Carson.
I honestly, I've had. Then this is not a brag. I've had about 3 or 4 relationships in my time, and of those, actually, it's closer to maybe 5 or 6. But I digress.
3 or 4.
Out of every single one of them, I do not understand how I convince someone to be like, "Yeah, I'll see what's gonna happen," because every single time I'll be like, "Hey, do you want to go out?" And they're like, "Sure." They don't even say yes. They say sure, I guess.
They say sure in the same way you're like, "Hey, do you want to help me clean up this 4-day-old mayonnaise spillage?"
Right.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Sure, I get. Every single time, and it would be every single time it was a different type of girl, and I haven't figured out what it is yet because I've asked out a lot more girls that have said no. So I have yet to figure out why the ones that said yes.
Just don't question it.
And then I ask them after the relationship is over, and they never give me a clear answer. I think they're playing a social experiment on me. How long can I think there's a billionaire benefactor out there who has a bounty for the person who can stay with me the longest.
Okay, so let's put it this way. You are socially awkward, and you have delusions of grandeur, aka paranoia. So when was the last time you had yourself checked for any, mental differences?
Nice. There's no doubt in my mind that there is something mentally wrong with me.
Are you a mental? Are you a full-blown mental?
I don't want to go to a therapist because I don't want to hear what they're gonna say about me.
That's your
I'm
Dennis the Mentalist McCarson.
I'm terrified of them being like, yeah, there's something wrong. Because then what do? There's not, because most of the time they're like, I can put you on this medicine, but you'll be completely different, and I don't want to be different. And then they'd be like,
Dennis. We should start wrapping this up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
You just don't stop talking, so I was going to wait for you to stop talking at some point, but that never happens.
I'm sorry. I just have a million things going on in my mind.
I know, always.
45 different voices, all telling him that Kanye is the Lord.
No. I do think, we're ended on this, I've taken multiple tests. The most likely problem with me is I have a dissociative disorder. I should do something and when I shouldn't, because my mind is always like, yeah, just do it.
What about you, Gabe?
I think that's called being a comedian.
Gabe, what about you? Yeah, what's your mental problem? To wrap things up, we'll do all our mental problems.
Severe depression.
Ooh,
severe depression.
That's dark.
Sad man.
That's really funny because being depressed isn't an illness apparently. So haha, that's what I've been told.
Yeah.
That's what I get told in the media. Depression. Oh, it's just having a bad day.
And
no.
Right.
That's what they say over here.
Tell that to my poetry journal.
I know. I actually hate that. You know, I hate like when someone has depression and someone just says something like, "Oh yeah, well you know, like I'm having a bad time too." It's like that's not what that is.
Right.
No.
Right.
It's a very different thing.
Right. It's like saying, "Oh, my arm just fell off because I think I'm a leper," and they're like, "Yeah, I'm having a bad day too." No.
Yes, no one empathizes with me because they think that I'm just sad. But it's all the time.
Seriously, Gabe, if someone says to you, like, oh, like, when you're depressed, they say, yeah, well, you know, I mean, we all get a little bit down. Like, my immediate reaction is always like, okay, but the difference is, like, I just can't help the way I feel. Like, every now and then I feel down, blah, blah. That's what I would say. To which they would be like, you know, yeah, well, I get that. Like, no.
You don't, because I'm like that all the time.
You just lost, like, a gym battle on Pokemon, and you're thinking, how have I managed to do that?
You know the easiest...
And there's no reason for mine.
You know the easiest way to diagnose someone with depression?
How?
Ask them for their Tumblr.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
I don't have a Tumblr.
You're not depressed, Gabe. You haven't hit your lowest point until you're begging random people on the internet to read your thoughts.
All of my thoughts are private.
Get a Tumblr and add me in. Yeah, seriously, get a Tumblr. Make a Tumblr. Add Dennis. He's called Aimless Sidekick, and then add me.
No, that's my photo blog. My real one is Jew Fast, Jew Furious.
Furious.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one. Jew Fast, Jew Furious. And then I'm called So Far From Your Weapon.
Okay. I'll get a Tumblr.
Make a Tumblr, and then link into your Twitter, and you have to go on Twitter ever again. It's brilliant.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what you should do.
Alright. To end it up...
like Twitter, though.
End it up, James, what is your mental disorder?
I'm attracted to small Jewish comedians with American accents who are cruel to their girlfriend.
Hey.
That seems like an advantage.
Yeah.
Hey.
Check your privilege.
Yeah. You have a lot of options in New York and LA.
Apparently, I have high anxiety. But the problem is about anxiety is whenever you want to go along to get checked, if you have it, you get really anxious about the idea that you might have it, and therefore it defeats the purpose.
Is it a mental disorder to just not care?
That's probably one. Yeah, it's called apathy, and it can be like apathy can like border on being psychotic, can't it? Like it can be psychopathic, but they can be like psychopathically apathetic. So like to this point where you can't associate feelings with absolutely anything, and so you sort of you fail to human because you just don't get it.
Right.
So that can happen.
I don't think you have that problem, Dennis. You care way too much about really stupid shit.
Dennis cares about Dennis is the kind of person who will only buy a carrot if he thinks that someone like Buster Rhymes someone would actually enjoy that carrot. Otherwise, he's not interested in it.
I do everything. My desktop picture right now is the picture of the Furious 7 picture I made.
Oh yeah, that's great. With all Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
And one Kanye West. And
is it all Kanye West? I thought you did.
No, it's all Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but one Kanye West.
Oh, okay.
And I did that solely for the fact of hoping that someone came into my room and saw my desktop. That's my problem, is everything I do is 100% like, this will make someone laugh.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good way to be.
No, it's not.
As a comedian.
Right, but I've decided to become a preacher, so...
So, your life sucks.
Alright, anyway, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Yep. It's going to have a nice little bow on it. Once again, I have been Dennis McCarson at Dennis McCarson on Twitter. You can send all your hate mail there.
Yep. I'm Gabe Carey at the Gabe Carey.
And I'm James Daly at your Daily Dosage.
And
send James your penis size on Twitter.
And then
send me a random number to guess what mine is.
Send send Gabe just pictures of depressed people eating salad.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Listening
That'll help.
to JJ.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. We will be back. I guess we're doing this every other week.
Yep. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Our next topic.
Bitches later.
Our next topic will be depression.
Okay.
Well, that'll be a light one.
Ugh.